It is June 29th. It's a Saturday. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon here in Ohio. And of course, as always, I'm LiquidOtacon, and I'm joined by my awesome friends ETPC and October
Hello.
today. And so today, much like we have in the past, we have actually. Originally, I thought we were only really going to have. I'll go ahead and bring this down. I thought we were really only going to have work stuff to work on, but I actually do have a new or more up to date version of Casino here to show off. As we were kind of chatting about last month when we last had a stream, some of this has been pretty significantly changed. And
Oh
we
yeah.
now have, instead of the pool in the casino here, you can see we have studio placed in there, kind of more or less where it was at before. Obviously, this is all still being blocked in, so this is all very work in progress. We're not really too sure how 100% on how this transition is working still, but we're still working it,
For
and
sure.
there's still
Yes.
more than enough to show off here, I think.
The specific rooms, for example, are still incomplete. I haven't had the chance since basically started the new job and other obligations took place. I haven't really had the chance to keep on hammering in these rooms and actually try to make something that is going to make sense. So this has told me trying to get a good scale down and trying to see what could potentially feel good. So I would ignore these rooms per se.
Yeah.
I would focus more on where studio is placed right now, or
Mm-hmm.
specifically what the idea would be.
Yep,
Since
and the
there
changes to
is
buffet too. Yep.
Yeah.
yes, buffet as a level when it comes to blocks is finished in that sense. It just doesn't have any real gameplay added to it yet.
Gotcha.
Since yes.
Rapapa the Pepper says, I'm honestly thankful for this change for the stage. Used to be kind of messy before. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, the pool looked cool, but there was really no gameplay in it. That was kind of like the conclusion we kept coming to, is just like, it is a cool visual, but you just run through it, flick a switch, and run back. And that's not really fun.
Yeah.
So we really
Yes,
sat
and
down and thought about it. And yeah, October, I'll let you take that.
the specific thing to be done in the specific thing that has to be done in this case is getting the flow. Like, it's not going to be nearly as apparent when it comes to looking at it right now, but the flow is going to direct you to the stage, the studio, I should say, and it's going to direct you on the other end. So it's going to be one of the first things you do before you go out in casino proper.
Yep.
As the elevator is going to stop midway, and you're going to find yourself in a little maintenance shaft real quick, which still has to be adjusted and stuff. That's still got some work to be done on the front, but as I
Some
said,
of that's
I
set
haven't
up
really
though,
had.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I just don't
Trevor, you
know if you're
also.
gonna die with it.
Is that so
Sorry, go
much
ahead.
to ask during some R&R?
I'll give it a shot and see how it looks. You might have no clip to get in. Oh, never mind. This works. Set R mode 6 since there's no light work done yet, and these windows are probably gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay,
Most
so
likely.
this is the entrance of the buffet.
No, this is the one where
Oh
you
no, this is the
saw
other
the TV
side.
guy before.
Yeah. Okay.
The TV guy still there and stuff. Yes.
So
Uh,
let's see.
you can go back to where you spawned, and you can see the little maintenance door there and stuff.
I think we
And
showed off some of this. Hang on.
yes.
Back to here. This is the room with the technical difficulties inside of it. Yep.
Has to do massive work on this, though, regardless.
No, but it's still really, I think, selling the security room way better than I did the first time. This is
Yeah, and
definitely
ignore that.
very
This
lit.
was me literally just copying the other one and not doing it correctly, so I'll give it a little clean up eventually when So with Casino right now, I'm tackling it one step at a time and trying to get the big stuff done first, which is getting those 2 rooms to actually be fun to navigate, so they're not going to be a pain. Also need to complete this one. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm gonna take stuff for the first slice version or not, but this one is complete. Oh, well, minus the animation stuff, I guess it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
still
You're
just the
also
whole like top of the body. That's the whole like
Yeah, the thing, the W4
animation
changed.
thing. Yep.
yeah.
This is me trying to get a scale down for what is essentially going to be a round bar area, but you can tell that it's very much not ready. It's still me working hard on that, and I haven't touched it in 2 weeks for context, because
Yeah,
that's when I started
you were on
job
you were on
stuff.
holiday.
Yeah, in dealing with stuff,
Right.
but this is gonna look much better eventually, and also I'm eventually gonna add some more context on what these doors are gonna look like, so it's not just gonna be 2 double doors there.
Hmm.
This is just things making sense right now.
Yeah. The thing I'm most excited for is you've mentioned to me, and I think we talked about it on the stream, but less like the opening to this level is going to be really cool. Like we're planning on really kind of selling that idea
I mean,
of like
it's
Duke
gonna be very similar to how current League Casino works, I guess I should say, because League Casino opens by
opening the
not
elevator.
really giving you combat right away.
Yeah,
As in,
exactly.
it does.
Like
It
you were mentioning
does.
to me about like
Yeah.
having studio look like more of a war zone, which I think is really
Well,
fun.
Word Zone is a bit of an extra take. It's more like you're gonna see some more visible differences. Probably there's gonna be a block path that's gonna direct you to use an event instead.
Right.
So it's using what is there to actually try and force a player, I guess, in a specific direction.
Right. Exactly.
Force a player is such a bad word, but it's more like you get what I mean.
But
Guide the
I
player.
mean,
Guide the
but
player.
that is that is what we do,
Yeah.
just quietly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean
Mhm.
that's
When you
all
say
video
force, it
games.
makes it sound bad.
Yeah. It's all about critical path, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And just like again, like the selling the tension of the situation is what I'm talking about. With just like having that small buffer between going right into back into combat after Dark Hotel or I guess Hotel just now.
Yeah.
You can see the studio right now still very much is an exact one-to-one from the actual studio. I
Right.
eventually plan to redo the import without any of the actors and stuff, or I'm just gonna clean it up myself, whichever.
Sure.
But it's gonna be a bit more. Well, it's gonna be different.
Yeah.
And so the
And
idea
some
is
of the room,
basically that you kind of go from the elevator to into this kind of area here, and then you end up in the vent systems. You end up in like the vent work up here, right?
yeah, you start in the elevator is gonna so the previous mapper's work on casino is basically still gonna reflect here
Right.
in the sense of the elevator is gonna stop midway, and then you get in the maintenance in the elevator in the vent. You're gonna
Right.
get in the vent, and you're gonna find yourself in the maintenance shaft, and that's gonna lead you into one of the first big rooms, which leads you to the studio, and then on the other side.
Okay, so the idea is that we're going to direct the player from here instead of going this way to go to here.
Yes.
So you're not going to. There's basically going to be something here to prevent the player from passing through. Makes
Yes,
sense.
which is not there right now, but
Sure.
yes.
And then this is
Which
just
is
directly,
yeah.
these double doors are bam.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you go here.
And I think we showed off this last stream. We'll just kind of
Yeah,
go
you
over it again a little
yeah.
bit. Just because, I don't know, the work was really good. I really appreciate the changes in wallpaper throughout the different areas. And I don't think we showed off the bathrooms last time.
You did, I think.
That
I mean,
bathroom content.
they're okay. They're okay. That's the end of it. It's just actually even
I know.
Otacon, you're
trims.
streaming in a bathroom? How could you?
Oh my fucking god!
Speaking
Shut the
of
fuck
which,
up.
I should do this.
I'm sorry, I had to. Relevant jokes.
Still gotta fix those.
Yeah.
Yo, I have to fix a bunch of what is essentially non-brushwork stuff.
That wasn't even really directed towards you. It was just like one of those things I saw, and I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have some fun ideas.
At That's basically the extent when it comes to this chunk. It's in a slow work in progress. Buffet I consider closer to actually done when it comes to brushwork and stuff. But that's still not finished per se. They're both to the same level at this point. There was some very stupid issue going on with Buffet specifically. But
Yeah, Buffet was not great in
oh,
terms of just like not
and a bunch
gameplay
and a bunch of
stability.
these assets are also basically lifted from other parts of the game just to be temporary right now to fill in gap. Well, fill in a gap correctly, I guess. Like the fridges, for example. They're lifted from the Stratosphere pack.
Yeah. John Travolta asks, can the editor itself also be improved? It's actually improved in leaps and bounds since like, God, even like last summer. Like it is so rock solid and stable. You have to really work to crash it nowadays.
Unfortunately, it looks like the chat overlay isn't working. I was just thinking about the chat and how I haven't really been able to watch it. I just alt tab so I can a little bit again. Sorry.
It's all good.
So I do really already like. It's also keeping in mind, I guess, to let everybody else know too. This is the first time I'm seeing some of this. I really do appreciate this change to the entrance of buffet here.
Yeah. It just makes way more sense.
Sure.
Had to do a bunch more on it still, but
Sure.
regardless.
Our work is never over.
Yeah, I don't have time right now.
You also see some of our new assets generated by our art team, which actually work really well with the existing assets, in my
Whoa.
opinion.
They not with the current skin per se, but it's again
Well,
it's
no,
temporary
yeah,
stuff. It's
exactly.
temporary stuff to fill in to at least illustrate what could
Yeah.
potentially look like. This is gonna make sense eventually.
And the new
right now,
assets,
this does.
the new assets to make it
Yeah.
look fitting have already been made too.
For sure, yeah.
Just have to be
Hello, Intrina. Greetings from Germany, they say.
howdy. I do love
Greetings.
getting the use out of this stuff finally too. Taps
Yep.
and stuff. This is stuff. So some of these things, like those beer taps, those have been in since the first slice, and I mean, I think there was technically a small use of them in the bar I made, but that may have been it. Like it's just cool to see.
Yeah, they might have been in the bar in the pool area. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah.
Love the creativity, dedication, immersion. Thank you so much.
Yeah, October's
This
been doing a
kitchen,
really good job at trying to make stuff feel real and
this kitchen is similar to the first slice. Oh, there's the vertical one is missing the texture, of course.
that's okay.
Now, yeah, this looks similar, but it's not quite. It's missing that one long corridor that was just really weird before, and it's instead just using an actual
Yeah.
freezer instead.
A couple comments here. Brawlmash says, really like the Redux, the buffet level. The fridge hot dog bits are great. And Trina asks, are you going to change the fires slash textures? Just two animated textures on the wall and floor look terrible. That's definitely something we're looking at, but we can't make any promises.
Yeah, I
And
will say
Rapapa,
that things like the penthouse fire has been changed and tweaked and
yeah,
edited a bit. Part of the thing
Yeah.
is that we kind of have to. So like the fire is a 2D texture, right? And so
right.
like we kind of have to work around making that, and then also just making sure the environment sells that it's also on fire and being damaged and stuff like that. I think we've been getting a little better at that. I'm not going to show it off again just because we've shown off the new penthouse to death. But
Oh, yeah.
I do think if you check out some of the previous streams, there have been significant changes to the like fire effects and like the feel of
I'll
it. Again, not the actual effects themselves; those are what they are. But like the
Yeah.
I will
selling of the room on fire is different.
I will say, however, I don't know if this is gonna happen before we're gonna get close to getting the whole chapter 1 thing done,
Sure,
or after that. I would like to actually do changes to the fire to make it look better.
even
It's one
further.
of those minor things that is not really a problem right now, but it's
Yeah,
on the agenda.
For sure.
I know
Absolutely.
this is small, but I love this. Love this.
I need to fill it up so it actually is going to make more sense.
Oh no,
but
I
right
know.
now
I
it's-
just
yeah.
this specifically.
Yeah.
Say hi to Jay.
Oh, Joe in the chat.
There he
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
talking
going to be a
someone
fun
else.
one too. Yeah.
Yep, just kind of a
Sign
yep.
post.
Good.
Rapapa says, is the mod being optimized for older hardware? I was a bit concerned with the amount of new props, even 3D skybox elements, especially because a buddy's been testing DF 2001 on old PCs recently. So, Otacon, do you want to take that one?
Sure. So the answer is yes. It is something we are still keeping in mind. And I will say that. Yep, the shark works now. Forgot about that. Showed that off last time.
Shark is a threat.
Shark is a threat. So the answer is yes, to some degree. Obviously, when we want to make sure that our references and stuff like that cut off at 2003, but like sometimes when it comes to like prop density and stuff like that, admittedly, especially in the first slice, we weren't as concerned about that. But I will say that I have a 2005 business era laptop that I have tested our build on, and the only level that struggled was Las Vegas Boulevard. And that struggles on even modern hardware because of issues that were with the version at the time. So, yeah. The short answer of it is yes, but also it's not the forefront of our minds, I should say, but also it hasn't become an issue just yet.
The good news is that by the time we're pencils down on episode 1, like the tools will also like I said, they're already in a pretty good spot. Like it won't be a huge deal for someone to like make a almost like a demake what we're doing and making it like run better on like 2003 era hardware, because that's something we're excited to see too. I mean, but in terms of like, are we limiting ourselves to making sure that we can run on that hardware? I think we want to run on it, but I think we're targeting like maybe like if we can get an acceptable 30 on that kind of hardware, that's good to us. That seems like a good kind of point for us to be like, okay, that's our limit.
Alt tabbing back here.
They say that sure gives me a lot more faith to the project from here.
Oh,
you can set our mode. You can set our mode 5 in this area because that's the original light install.
Right. Something that is awesome here that I've been stuck on this image for a reason. Really appreciate the change and the tweaks for the booths here to just actually finish them.
Yeah, exactly. They if you go back and look at the first slice, they are temp as fuck.
Which honestly, I didn't even notice until October was like, look how good I made these look. And I was like, whoa. And he's like, here's how they look before. And I was like, oh, holy shit.
Like,
they're like single color and like...
Yeah.
And I still have to do some work on a bunch of these things. But again, this is basically where most of it needs to be. This room basically is just being retextured in parts. It's still the same room. I need to make it so that the mines cannot be destroyed by props. And I need to add the little alternative thing that we discussed so that we can at least give that specific option.
Right. And otherwise, I don't want to deal with this. So this. Boop.
You can
also see the kind of stuff here too. All around, just a little sharper.
Yeah.
Definitely noticeable. These sharks still have infinite health?
This one is still tied to an interpolation point from 3 realms.
Oh, okay.
So eventually when we work on you can... Hey, do you want to do something fun?
Sure.
Go inside the water and follow the road. Go inside the water, trust me. It's fun.
I don't believe you.
Oh, believe me. I made a smiley face. The other direction. At least temporarily, since I'm trying to figure out that space for something else.
Hope I set off of mine. Oh, this area over here?
Oh, that's funny.
October.
Oh my god.
October.
It's a smiley.
Shout out to like the 20 people who got it.
Yep. God.
I want to turn that into an actual little secret area potentially. Spoiler. But
Hetzy is in the chat, losing their minds. If you
and this
know, you
area,
know.
so this area had to be elongated slightly, as you can probably tell. So I'm gonna have to add something to make it look less. What's the term for that again? Liminal. Not this one. This double dream here is intended to be
In here?
double for a very valid gameplay reason that is not shown right now.
Yep,
It has been discussed.
yep. I like your idea a lot.
Yeah, what would we do
And
with
also-
this little back corner?
Oh, this back corner, I don't know what I'm gonna do here actually. I actually have half of an idea. I don't know what I'm actually gonna do about it per se. I
Yeah,
want
fair.
so my specific thought about it doesn't mean that you're gonna be in the main room for what would be the final combat per se. And down here, I don't want there to be combat per se. I want there to be something else, maybe some pickup. I made this big window so you can actually see the little secret hole that you basically went into.
Okay.
I figured something, so that's why there's a bigger window that you can kind of see a little further into and potentially make you go, But
Yeah, you
this
like kind
actual
of notice
corridor
it keeps
here,
going. Yeah.
yeah, this corridor here, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it still. Well, it's not the most relevant thing right now because this has never been part of the critical path, but we'll figure something
Yeah,
out.
right. I think before we had just stashed ammo and stuff like that back over there.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a bunch of interesting police stuff.
Slipgate says, feels like forever since I last watched your dev stream. How's it going, guys? It's going pretty good. We got some cool stuff to show off today.
Yeah. And really appreciate the adding the booths on both sides really did kind of add to the grandeur of it. Because I mean, and there would be a ton of check encounters, right? Because this is like a
yeah.
massive hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, the plan for it.
I want I want the final encounter for chapter 1 to actually be something fun to play and not just
Shooting hordes of snatched.
just trigger enemies and hide in a corner as it had been
Yeah.
made by the previous mapper.
You want a bit of theatrics.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Really appreciate the stacks out the top here in the front.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this
I was appreciate
this
not
is,
seeing a BSP hole anymore here.
there was a BSP hole?
At
There
one
was.
point, yeah, one of the
yeah.
yes.
Didn't we ship with a BSP hole in the door? We might have. I mean,
I think I think the press build that went out before we released had the door fucked up.
Right. Okay, that's probably why I'm remembering about it.
And then we
Either
had to
way.
quickly fix it.
By the way, it is no more. It is
Yep.
a cleaned up geometry. We love to see it.
Ideally, I'm making no promises because I don't know what life is gonna be for the next week still.
Mhm.
Ideally, next time there's anything shown when it comes to casino, at least I can have something presentable more on buffet, or at least I can have those rooms finished. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's still a bunch of work to be done, and well, it'll
For
be
sure.
done.
Still,
Yeah.
just to appreciate this, how much the Lady Killer is actually here.
Yep. The entire brush is here, and it looks fucking fantastic.
Don't worry about how I accomplished that. I still have.
Black magic fuckery of no static meshes.
Yep. That's just a gigantic brush.
But yeah, so we are still really chugging along.
Yeah. And I want to also say I appreciate everyone being patient with us. I know sometimes that we don't work as fast as people like think we should be, but we're also working at a healthy pace. We're working at a pace that's good for us, you know, considering that we all have, you know, jobs and our lives and things like that. We can't dedicate our entire like day to this. But even with that being said, I feel like we're going at a very good pace, and I feel pretty good about what we've discussed internally about our next release.
Yeah. So too. And I think the best part about that is too is that I mean we are very close to 2/3 of chapter 1 being playtesting, like in playtesting
Yes.
state. So we are very good shape. Oh, here's the finished. Here's the completed security room for check out.
Oh yeah, the security room looks so good.
And so the
I
idea
want
is
the
that
mechanic.
you're going to end up using these switches to open up the different gates to the casino, right?
Well, some of the switches are not going to be functional.
Okay.
And the idea, as I specifically have it and I had to experiment with it, either I'm going to make the monitors be interactive cameras like in Duke Nukem 3D, or make them just display a picture that changes based on the button status. I haven't messed with that yet.
Fair.
I know it's possible because we know it's possible. We've seen it done in the build. I
Yep.
just haven't experimented on to specifically accomplish that yet.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
you.
Dragon Fury 3000 is really impressed with the level design so far. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, October does a great job.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to our other level designers too, who are tirelessly working away on other levels in the chapter. We
Oh
I know
yeah.
we mentioned before we brought on 2 new level designers who are working on chapter 4 stuff. So it's really exciting to see them work.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is coming together.
So check out hotel.
Oh yeah.
So really, what I want to get accomplished. So I added a little more to the fire in here, but it may have been too much. I guess I should ask you guys of that. I don't know if I've shown off all the new fire effects that I added here.
hmm
Um, oh, I don't think I've shown them. Because I added there's like encounters downstairs and stuff like that. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, the hotel merge is pretty exciting. Like, and again, it just serves like our intended goal of making everything be as contiguous as possible, right? We want to have like the Lady Killer feel like one giant coherent space, like similar to how Black Mesa feels like a space you can walk through. I mean, obviously you're going through like vents and stuff, but like it feels like it is a dungeon crawl at its essence, but it's a realistic dungeon crawl. That's kind of what we want to evoke here.
And so, this you play through the level. We showed it off last stream. It plays a little differently. Now you activate a bud bot and you follow that bud bot into the bud bot hatch. Same thing though. You get the key card to access the maintenance room and stuff like that. So then when you get back down into the dark hotel, it plays it kind of how it did before. Or if I go trigger here, these guys wake up. These guys trying to kill this lady here. You can also see one of the other new changes here, which is the deagle rate of fire.
Yes.
You can no longer fire it as fast as you can click. It now has a slight delay to it.
But also as a damage boost.
Yep, very slight damage boost.
Yeah, so it feels more impactful, like you are firing a large caliber handgun instead of just like, the Duke 3D pistol.
So, you go down the hallway. And the hallway catches fire, and the hotel catches fire. I don't know why that keeps happening.
What, with the fire spreading weirdly?
No, this one guy standing here.
Oh, he's just chilling.
Yeah.
For him, it's always like this.
Get down into here, and you get ambushed out of the. I think I go.
Thank you, Slipgate. Saying the flame textures look different, a lot better.
They're the same flame textures, but
So they're supplied differently.
I don't know why the second attack is supposed to come out. You're supposed to move forward here and get ambushed by two guys coming out of these doors. Why they're being shy? I'll have to look at that.
They're not ready
They
yet.
exist.
They're ready to come out.
I'll have to look at that.
Just not feeling it today.
So then you come into here like you normally do. He just fucking gibbed. So the idea.
Monster factories.
So stuff to work on. This is great. So basically, what's going to happen is you come into this hotel room and come in through here as normal. There's going to be a this is going to be closed up, and there's going to be a snatched banging on this door trying to get in. You're going to kill them, and you're going to open up the door, and you're going to find that Harold is inside the bathroom, and you're going to free Harold, and then do what you have to do normally, which is bring him to go see his son.
Yep.
So
His boy.
continue through like normal. Kind of just use the fire to like light the area, and then also to like, I don't know. The problem is that I kind of wanted to try to sell that this floor is on fire so that you have to put the fire out.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, some more work can be done on that. I don't know. I'm not 100% happy with it.
I mean, we got time. We got hella time. Dragon Fury asks, and I think we might have already answered this question just by showing it, but any environmental puzzles in planning like 2011 DNF, or more straightforward puzzles like pushing buttons and sequence like DN3D? I think we're definitely going more towards an environmental puzzle direction. We're definitely still going to have like some classic button puzzles as the game goes on, but we definitely want to use like the space more as the puzzle itself.
Yeah. But yeah, the answer is probably is a little bit of both.
Yeah. Abar Films asks their way to support you. Just spread the word. Spread the word about what we're doing here. You know, the mod, like all the progress we made. Like, obviously, there's no way to financially support us. Please don't do that or think about it, even though we are flattered that you would think that.
Right.
That would be a bad decision. We've been pretty good so far, guys. Let's keep it up.
So the idea is that as you work your way back towards the elevators to put cues in, the floor now collapses and you get dropped down here.
Yep. Yeah, exactly, Rapapa. Like the back in '98, they were even saying they weren't going to have like puzzles. Although they were saying back then they wanted to have more adventure game as puzzles, and it's something we'd like to do, like having like adventure game esque moments, but like that would be a lot of custom entities to think about and stuff like that. Like obviously we have the inventory system, but it is limited in what it can do.
Graves here. I have good news, Duke.
You put the
You
fire
won't
out
need to run around blind in the
by
dark
activating the
anymore.
fire system.
Graves calls.
Graves calls. Gives you night vision. And now the idea is, I don't know if I had this part set up. But the idea is that now these that were
Sleeping.
sleeping before wake up and they're like wandering around in the dark, which you have to use the night vision. I haven't gotten the I just redid all the fire stuff and everything else like that, so the fires are put out. So they're not hooked back up to that event and everything else like that. But yeah.
Work in progress, as always.
That's the gist.
Yep.
You'll work your way back through here, climb the pillar that fell, and then make your way back up the elevators. Alright, so a couple things of note. Let's figure out why
bombs
guys
are,
won't.
yeah. I mean, that's a constant problem we're having of just like it's mostly solved, but we still kind of have
No, I
some
mean
issues.
it's because I rearranged a whole bunch of this stuff. That's why it's broken.
Ah, okay, okay. That was just
Oh,
monster
there you go,
factory
right there. I only
fuckery.
have door ambush one set up to trigger. I think. And
Oh,
right
okay.
here. Oh,
Well, that'll do it.
it's going.
Kira asks, "Hi, so what's the agenda behind this game?
Oh
Making a
boy,
good game.
making a good game.
That's the agenda."
Yep. No further comment.
Nope. Oh
Uh,
god. So October, what have you been up to lately? Putting you in the spotlight.
I have been doing work stuff that
Hell
isn't all
yeah.
related to project stuff. I've just been working life,
Hell yeah.
learning Unity as well along the way
Less hell
for
yeah.
completely personal reasons.
Yeah,
Learned a bit of
Unity.
Blender,
Ooh,
bit of Substance Painter, and spreading some knowledge around.
well, Substance Painter is pretty good from what I understand, but Blender and Unity, that's just a gruesome twosome of bullshit right there.
Hey, I'm fine with Blender.
Yeah,
Unity, well, it's a necessary evil.
yeah.
I guess I've been to Lemon if you're
Nice,
interested in
nice.
that kind of thing. If any of you is from France or wants to visit France, I'm sorry for you for the infrastructure infrastructure you're gonna have to deal with when it comes to transportation.
Yes, I've heard that getting around in France is kind of a nightmare. Like it's walkable, but also it is
A nightmare.
yes, especially in the summer because it gets like staggeringly hot.
Yeah, and it's not been a good first experience. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah, there's like no AC in France, right? I remember a friend of mine who wanted to go to like oh god, the big mansion where all the rulers lived. Name is escaping me at the moment.
Can't say.
Uh, God, what the hell is it called? Anyway, they wanted to go there, and they were staying in like a basement apartment during heat wave, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we almost died in there. It was so hot."
Nice. Good.
Uh,
Not really.
nope, nope. Skate asks, well, just I doesn't really ask, but just kind of states, I was playing Vivisector, and they had this feature of green markers, so you know where to go next, which I thought was cool. So I'm always getting lost. I think something like that would be useful. We kind of we subscribe more to the Valve-esque idea of, hey, if you want the player to know where to go, put a light above the door. Like that's kind of like
Yeah.
the gold standard. Like we don't really
That's
want to have,
So
you know.
I'll give you some specific context on my side, I guess, given the penthouse work that's going on
Okay.
and stuff.
Yeah.
When I connected the levels and tried to not get people too lost or distracted, I always try to have either a little input that the player has to do to actually start something, so they don't actually lose it, or something that catches their attention. It doesn't have to be inherently be a light, but a light is the default way, I guess, you can try and catch people's attention.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not gonna. Well, we hopefully aren't going to repeat the oven fiasco ever again. Where
I mean, the oven fiasco is a Trader Realms fiasco.
right, exactly, and it's one of those things where like it. Well, no, no, it never made sense. You think about it, but like in terms of the gameplay world, once you learned it, it
It
made
made sense.
sense.
Yeah. It made sense
Only,
in it made sense in context. Yeah.
yeah, it made sense when someone told you that, hey, you need to do this, which is not actually making sense
Yeah,
because,
that's not intuitive, right?
yeah, yeah, it's the same issue as the current critical path on Las Vegas Boulevard. Like it's hard to figure that out without having someone just straight up tell you, oh no, you're supposed to do this and trigger this. So like obviously we're always keeping that stuff in mind. and making sure that we have like a very smooth play experience that also requires a player to think, obviously, and like observe their environment and take stock of what they have and things like that. But
So the one thing I can easily tell you on the front, you're not gonna get a casino experience, as in the first class casino experience,
no,
where you go halfway through the level and then find out without really any context that you cannot progress without going halfway back. Well, halfway back, all the way back, and then back again. I think that's not
There we
fun.
go.
yeah, we never really figured out a good path for casino before we shipped. Because there's just so
Yep.
much like optional stuff that
It's
you could just skip.
it's been said before that casinos really been a case of too many hands in the jar.
Right.
So
And again, at the same time, I know we always we shit on first slice sometimes, but it's still something we're very proud of. Still something that we're glad that we released and made a lot of people happy. But we're hoping to just blow first slice out of the water. Like we want to look like the prototype it was when we're done with chapter 1 and then episode 1 from there.
at its core, you can call it as it is, which has been lessons
Yeah.
on addressing what has been core issues
Okay, so why is he
in
quitting?
various places.
Absolutely. Yes.
What about this room is making?
That is weird. I wouldn't say that, John. I think
Yeah, the game was in a very clearly not
Yeah.
even like very. It was
they
in a
did the
very
best
early
they
stage.
could with a very bad situation.
I wouldn't even say that. I think it's just very early work.
Exactly. Yeah. The mighty T pose to show dominance.
Yeah.
Star asks, is there a volume that's making him jib? It might be a silly question. Could you elaborate what you mean by volume, Star? Like a brush volume or something? Like a
Could.
Does the game use damage volumes? I'm not sure. Okay, 2011 does. Is that a concept in this?
Triggering
Yeah. Fesh, glad you're here. We basically just kind of walked through our progress on Casino and our plans for it to make it more of a cogent space and a more exciting space. We walked through some of the changes to Buffet, including some art and pathway changes. Also some planned
Yep.
new gameplay sequences and stuff like that. We also looked at Dark Hotel, and now we're just working on the Dark Hotel
Much
level.
better.
There is a Duke Burger level in Chapter 4, Dragon. That's actively in development right now. And people have ported Duke 3D stuff to 2001, John. There's I think it's I don't even know if it's finished 100% yet, but someone in the community server has ported a bunch of episode 1 maps to DN 2001.
Oh yeah, that was Gorilla. Gorilla made.
Yeah, Gorilla.
I believe it is every level of episode 1 except for waste.
Toxic
Toxic
Dump.
waste. Yeah, toxic dump.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Star
It is
also
on
did lots of
ModDB, I believe. Yep.
Duke 3D porting. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, Star's been really killing it with the 2011 maps recently. Props to him.
Sure.
Like converting a bunch of single player maps into really cool deathmatch arenas. Like, very cool shit. Good job, bud.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So...
and the smiley face. You're right, October. We made a smiley face of Atomic Healths.
Our most prized work.
Yep.
All right. So we got these guys, and you guys are spawning properly. Oh, yeah, you were late for that, Star. Like we said then, shout out to those who know,
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. All right, so what I should do now
Dragon says they love Duke Burger with a Toy Story thing going on. So we're going for a different thing for Duke Burger. We're going more for like a kind of pseudo social stealth thing, where basically the proprietors and people inside the Duke Burger are all invisible snatched. So everything's just like you don't see them looking screwed up, but they're all very off, and everything looks totally fine until you cross the counter. Then they go hostile because in the back room is just a gigantic snatcher nest. So it should be a pretty cool sequence.
Yeah, and we actually did that and set that up live on stream.
Yeah.
Probably back in March. It's whenever we started doing fancy custom thumbnails.
That sounds about right. Sounds like March.
Shout out to Joe for helping out. Yeah, the Duke Burger that we worked on stream. Yep.
Yeah. That was, I think, all Dez's work, right?
Yep. Des did all the brush work.
Yeah. Will there be dogs inside cages in Duke Burger? No, probably not.
Maybe a reference to it.
Yeah, maybe, but
Well, that is the bit. Remember?
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like if we're already making the bit about, snatcher burgers or whatever.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean, we were just playing Daikatana the other day, and Daikatana has a joke about what if you're using dead bodies for McDonald's hamburgers, because I guess everyone was just making that joke in the turn of the century. Like, I
Right.
seem to have forgotten that. No, not Doge. Like, so in Duke 3D, in the Duke Burger level, the joke is at the very end. There's a pipeline from the local PETA office to the Duke Burger, so they're using like abandoned dogs as hamburger meat. Yeah, Star's explaining it. Dog joke is pretty and 3D. I mean, it was the time, right? And like also the Scrappy Doo joke. Everyone hates Scrappy Doo. No human being on Earth likes Scrappy Doo. I remember vividly watching a gameplay clip of that. I think off of it must have been GameSpot back in the day when we had CompuServe and downloading a 160 by 160 15 frames per second video of Mario 64, Crash Bandicoot, and Duke 3D Atomic Edition. I have a very vivid memory of doing just that, being like, oh my god, there's new Duke 3D levels coming. I'm 6 years old. Vasilisk61 asks, I know it's a bit too early to ask, but will a space moon will be featured in this project, or will Area 51 be end of Duke's journey? Yeah, we'll be going to space.
Yeah. They plan on going to space, so we'll figure it out.
Yep. Sopranos Easter egg. I mean, we try not to kind of get into the muck of talking about every cultural reference we plan to have. We have a plan on hitting the big ones, but also we don't want to just explain all of them because then that kind of ruins the fun of finding them in game. That being said, Sopranos season 3 I think is fair game, 1 to 3. Because wait, no. I have to look at the air dates. I know season 1 was 99.
Yeah,
I've been watching
space is way down the
Sopranos.
line.
I've been watching Sopranos for the first time. It's been pretty fucking amazing. Hey, has anyone heard this before? Sopranos is a really good show.
Yeah,
Has anyone said
hey,
this?
I don't know if anyone's aware, but I will say my own anecdote. I watched the first season, and I basically started it, and by the second episode, I just watched nothing but that for 2 days. Yeah,
Yep.
it's really good.
My dad has been addicted to The Sopranos since I got him watching it. He's just like, nope, that's all I can watch now. Hello from Russia, Simutaris. Fesh says, wonder how the underground parking garage and Matador level will be handled. I think October, you might be able to comment on that.
Wrap the pepper.
Okay, so
Sorry, go ahead.
Matador is a bit of a tough one to explain because even 3D ROMs was basically unsure how they were going to handle it. They had various in progress states for that map. What I want to do with El Matador personally, I want to bring back the ramp and I want to focus the first part around actually getting inside the ramp so you can get to the bike rather than the bike being inside a container. That is the main thing. I don't see the importance of the containers. I always assumed they were temporary stuff the 3D ROMs put there. I might be wrong.
Yeah, we're
It's
finding out new
something
stuff
to
every day.
yeah. So here's a fun fact about El Matador that is completely unrelated. The NPCs in that area are named after Tremors main characters.
That's right.
Aside from that,
Why? That's a good question. But
yeah, that's the kind of research that I assigned to ETPC here, since he's
Yep, I'll be watching it this Monday.
good.
Yep,
He told me that 2 weeks ago.
I know. School's been brutal. I got to be honest with you. It's been.
I mean, I get it. Don't worry. I'm taking the piss.
The thing they don't tell you about summer school. Well, no, they do tell you this, but 6 weeks is
no!
a
What the
pretty
fuck?
long time, or a pretty short time to learn a whole lot of stuff. Oh no, virtual memory. Oh dear.
Dude, I can't even think of the last time I run into something like that.
Uh-oh. Please tell me you saved.
No.
Oh dear.
But I have this. Which has most of that stuff.
Yeah. Rapapa asks, some of the art of place jokes that you've been reading and death be removed later. Those are probably going to be moved exclusively to multiplayer voice packs so we can get that running. We want to have I think with multiplayer, we've given ourselves a little bit more leeway to have a bit more fun, like modern fun in that regard, obviously within limits. But we're giving ourselves permissions to have a Breaking Bad reference with pizza on the rooftop, things like that. Yeah, mentioning summer school crashed the editor.
I
But in
will
terms of
say,
the campaign, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I would just kind of add to that. I will say that as far as like ATP was about to say, as far as the campaign and stuff like that goes, I have already begun to, and things have already been removed, changed, and tweaked.
Yep. And we already
So,
have him speaking less.
right, yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because we were having problems with him giving one-liners over one-liners over one-liners. It's like, okay, this is a bit too much. Because you told me that you played Duke 3D just to look at how long it takes for him to say something. It's like a solid 5 minutes for saying something.
yeah. It took like I think it was like 4.5, 5 minutes for Duke to make any kind of comment.
Exactly.
Actually, I take that back. I think he said "cool" when he picked up the RPG.
That's fine though.
Yeah. So it definitely made us think about that a lot more.
Yeah. Scubby says he wanted to make a 3D FPS remake of Duke Nukem 1 and 2. That sounds pretty cool. I'd play that. I have never finished 1 or 2 to this day. I know. I'm a fake Duke Nukem fan. I will fall on my sword, but I'm just really bad at platformers and side scrollers. I've always have been.
I don't really know how you do that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Go crazy with it. Multiplayer is fine. Besides downloadable content, multiplayer by community is always a thing. So it would make sense. Lines that felt out of place in campaigns to be from years later. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Crispy. Is that our Crispy or a different Crispy? Oh no, there are two Crispies in the world. That's a horrible thought. Would you guys add the Postal Dude as a multiplayer model? Sure, I can see. I think we actually do have Postal Dude's shirt in Dio,
we have a reference.
Yeah. Because that's kind of how we're doing it. Is we basically just give Duke like different shirts and uniforms and stuff. Yeah, Postal Duke, absolutely. Kind of idea is making a TC of this product map editor is probably to my knees. Maybe someday. Yeah, I mean the map editor gets better and better. I mean the air you just saw, we haven't seen in like
I
what,
haven't had that happen to me.
weeks?
I don't. I wouldn't even say weeks. I don't know
Yeah,
when the last time I've gotten a virtual memory error like that.
yeah. But you also just recently had a whole bunch of catastrophic system failure stuff. So
Different computer.
yep. Oh, different computer. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. No. The my work PC here that I do all my Duke stuff on was fine. It's my gaming PC.
Right. Okay. Anyone finish Total Meltdown with PS1? I definitely played parts of it, but only through a port. So I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, I've played the shout out to Build Launcher. I can't think of the guy who made it, unfortunately. Sorry for that, but it's available off of
Hmm.
there's a build launcher that just as long as you have like the GRP files, it'll download total conversion mods and all kinds of other stuff for Duke, along with Ion Fury and all kinds of other stuff as well. Supports.
Yep.
And I was playing through some of Total Meltdown. The first level sucks.
Yep.
But
It's a
it's fun.
gigantic fucking like. It's like, why would you put the 2 meter level first?
It's
That's
just
such a
rough.
bad idea. Yeah. Like it's such a, and especially like considering how badly that port runs and like the controls on it. Like it's just
Well, thankfully on the PC I didn't deal with that as much, but I could not
exactly. Yeah.
imagine trying to deal with it on the
Pre DualShock too. Ship level in this project? Yeah, we have the Slick Willy in there. Slick Willy isn't going anywhere. It is my solemn promise to you, the people watching this, there will be strippers in this game. There's no plans to cut those out. Absolutely none. So rest easy, folks. Few. For me personally, I've been kind of bouncing between a whole bunch of games in my spare time. Actually, just before the stream started, I played RE4 with the RE4 HD project, along with RE4 tweaks. And my God, that mod is genuinely amazing. It really turns RE4 into the game you remember it looking like, without it going too far into just like, oh, this looks like, Nintendo hired this man territory. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And on top of that, it comes with RE4 tweaks, which is a like little package of I fixes and stuff that address things like controls and gameplay and like frame rate stability, stuff like that. And
Hmm.
so with RE4 tweaks, you can play RE4 with a mouse and keyboard very comfortably, like zero friction. It feels great. I'm just right clicking heads and having a grand old time. And you make it harder too to accommodate for that, which is great. And then obviously you and I have been playing Daikatana co-op, which has been fun.
Yep.
Very, very goofy, fucked up fun, but fun nonetheless.
Oh yeah, playing Daikatana has been a blast.
Yep. Especially when we got the shockwave and we're just killing each other over and over again.
Constantly, over and over again. Uh, back and forth.
What have y'all been playing in chat? Y'all picked up anything in the summer sale? Any cool stuff you want to shout out?
Glad that I've been.
I always want to play Daikatana. I heard the N64 port was a mess. I kind of like the N64 port for how scuffed it is. Like I have a real deep appreciation for the era when porting a game meant like having to redesign huge sections of it. Because like there was actual like artistry in that in my aspect. Uh um like versions like Quake 2 and the N64, like how they were just completely different games at points. And the way that apparently Daikatana does it is it strips out a lot of the well, not a lot of the garbage. You're still playing that game set in first level set in a swamp. Um, but it does a lot to kind of streamline the experience, which I think actually makes for a better game. Although it performs like garbage and the controls are awful. So hey, it all washes out in the end. Always played Vivisector, played Sulaco. Yeah, Sulaco's amazing. That new patch they put out is very, very cool. I'm very impressed with how hard and that developer is working. Hopefully they're taking a break as well. Because boy, they've just been going at it since launch. You Are Peter Shorts is a game I bought. Numbers with discount the dead makes some cool games. What's that about? NES style game where you fight things, a Smash Bros. Esh move set in a Metroid like area. Ooh, that sounds kind of neat.
Interesting.
Star's been working all day this week. Free time. Yeah, I was going towards making those DN 2011 maps. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, I finished Quantum Break finally, which I ended up quite liking that game, even
Oh,
if
yeah.
it ends in a way that really does unintentionally capture that feeling of you just watched the first season of a really kind of somewhat promising sci-fi show, but already got canceled after the finale aired. Like it ends in a way where it's like, oh, there's still so much left to do in this world, and then it's just like, nope, it's over. Oh, okay. But yeah, really cool set pieces, really fun gameplay, fun story. Um, you get used to the performance in it. Like it is still very heavy on modern hardware because of just the way they made that game. Like they designed it with 30 FPS and upscaling in mind. So when you try to run it native at 4K, it is like it never gets past 40. Yeah, don't forget to save, John Travolta says.
Yep. Oh, believe me. As soon as it's done. I should have saved beforehand, really, but
See, what we should code in is an autosave function that's like timed into the editor.
I
That'd
think
be
it's just
cool.
disabled.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it exists.
Fesh mentioning about your Peter Short says 25 unique move sets, local multiplayer. Damn.
Ooh.
Selling me. So now that I finished Quantum Break, I'm starting Control.
Okay.
And that game rocks.
Message retracted.
Weirdly hard though. I was getting really absolutely rinsed by one of the first bosses you encounter, and I was just like, am I like playing this wrong? And I guess the bosses are just really overtuned. So I assume as the game goes on, you get more abilities and more gear. It probably gets easier. Yeah, the Remedy verse. I guess eventually I'll play Alan Wake 2 after I finish Control, because that's kind of what I'm building towards. Especially now that apparently the guy from Quantum Break, his actor shows up in Alan Wake 2 as a guy named Tim Breaker, which is very goofy.
Gave it to me.
Hey,
Not what I wanted, but
progress. Have you been playing anything fun October since you got back? Oh, they're muted right now. I've been meaning to start Cyberpunk. I think I'm finally ready to start that.
Yeah.
I I installed a mod that allows me to use path tracing without my frame rate going to like 2.
Okay.
It actually still looks really damn good. Like I think what it does is it removes like, because in the default game it simulates 2 bounces of light for each environment. And so this mod just says like, no, just give it 1 bounce. So like it's not as realistic, but it still looks super good, especially compared to regular ray tracing.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna pick up the expansion pack in the sale and then see what happens.
Fair.
Finally play that game that everyone talks about. Only what, 4 years late?
Yeah. I mean, did you die from the FOMO?
No, absolutely not.
Yep.
I think I'm actually in a better place because of the FOMO. Oh, October is saying something. I've been tired. Okay. I get you, bud. So play the Phantom Liberty DLC. It looks so good. Yeah, I heard the Phantom Liberty DLC is everything that Cyberpunk gets right in one place. Like none of the stuff that it sometimes stumbles on. It is all just the good shit up here, like polished to a mirror sheen. And it sounds like the quests and like the story in that DLC is really, really cool. I saw some people even saying that's better than the main game. I
It
know
sounds
when I
like the
watched.
changes they made definitely were better.
Oh yeah, especially with the way they changed how like gear works and stuff, where like you can just assign resistance bonuses to whatever gear you have, but there's still some bonuses to specific gear, so you can still like accessorize and not have to worry about you'll die instantly. Hail to the king indeed, Duke. Uh-oh. Just a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what game development looks like.
Sorry, myself for that.
You're good.
Okay, we're gonna stuff here. Just gonna copy this bottom and get rid of the rest of this. I went too far.
Uh-oh.
Destroy fire doing stuff. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so I want tail on sound. Particle.
That's
This.
looking good. Turn that
Excellent.
off.
Yep. Get it turned off. Seen here. It's little work, but it makes our lives so much easier in creating new actor classes so we can get somebody.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That definitely helps a lot. Hello, Snake.
How do you think? Siren. Siren. Siren on, which is now, and siren off.
Hooray. Also been meaning to start the Dead Space 2 DLC now that I finished my Dead Space 2 playthrough. I ended up really, I think I mentioned this before, but when the Dead Space 2 came out, I liked it, but I did not like it anywhere near enough as Dead Space 1. I thought it was way too loud and action packed, like the horror didn't bleed through. Like I feel like this most recent playthrough, like I played through the game like 4 times now, I want to say, over like the past 2 decades,
Okay.
which is a fucked up thing to think about. I guess it's only been 1 decade because it came out in 2011. But anyway, I ended up really liking it on PS3. It felt really good and tight and just super well paced and just absolutely awesome. And now I'm excited to play the DLC, and then I'm going to probably play the remake soon because I picked that up some time back.
Yeah, I picked it up sometime back too. I just haven't really. I tried running it on the last iteration of my computer, and it ran like crap. But
Yeah,
I'm hopeful that it'll run a little better now. So,
they apparently
although it does
never.
make me worried.
Yeah, they apparently never fixed a stuttering issue people were having, which is kind of a bummer.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that's just video games nowadays. All video games just have stutter now because
Because we've
we're
just
asking.
accepted what Unreal 5 did.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not even just Unreal. It's like Frostbite. It's like all these different engines. It's just we're
Right.
asking so much of these games nowadays. We're asking possibly too much,
Right.
and like we're still kind of figuring out effective ways of like pre-caching shaders and things like that. But the problem is, it's not according to a Digital Foundry video I watched. It's not shader traversals, or it's not shader stutter as a problem. It's traversal stutter. So the problem is like how fast is it streaming in like new levels and new areas and stuff, and it's just not doing it fast enough, I guess. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that because I love Dead Space. I really, really love Dead Space. Dead Space is like one of the last games I was ever super mega hyped for. So I feel like I'm legitimately super hyped for that new Doom game. Like, not maybe not quite the level I was with Dead Space. I'm still a little bit skeptical, but I'm pretty hyped for that game.
Yeah, I'm pretty playing it.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're gonna have more information for it at QuakeCon.
I'm.
Yeah,
I can't imagine. I can't imagine they will.
yep. You'd have to corner Hugo Martin myself and ask a million questions. Be like, okay, Hugo, what's going on? Uh, Snake saying, not to go off topic, but my Blender to 2001 editor geometry texture support is done. Ooh,
Oh
that's
yeah.
pretty cool. However, texture is not panning right in the code. One would need just to pan textures to proper dimensions in editor. That's still pretty cool, bud.
Yeah. No.
That's sick.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, good
Awesome.
job. Maybe we'll take a look at it. We're always looking for new tools and techniques to make things go smoother. Yeah, I've just been kind of spending the past couple weeks just like playing a bunch of games for like 5, 10, 15 minutes, just going like, I'm good. And just bouncing to the next game. Like, I don't know. I just can't stick with anything lately.
I have been slightly better. I've been
Okay.
playing some Final Fantasy IV. I
Ooh.
am about maybe a three. I just killed the king.
Okay.
And then let's see. I've been still making my way through Slacko.
Okay.
Happy with that. I think I'm at like the 3/4 of the way point that one. Definitely.
Nice.
I guess those are really the only two that I've been like really active. I really want to finish Fallen Aces too, but I feel like I should try to pick up. They're completely different games, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, no, I feel you. I feel you.
They are completely different games.
Yeah.
Like,
You want to give all your attention to one or the other until you're
yeah,
finished one of them. Yeah. No, I
yeah,
get you.
because they're both games that like are that kind of like engrossing kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I haven't checked that out.
Oh yeah. Fallen Aces is generally amazing. Sulaco is incredible. Supplies recently got its third episode, which that's been pretty cool.
Yeah,
We
that's
tried playing a little bit that you and I yesterday, but
yesterday.
we kept running into some issues. Um, Vasilisk says for the past month I've been doing nothing but playing TF2C. Was that like Team Fortress 2 Classic? And trying to 100% Kingdoms of Amalur for some bizarre reason. Hell yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. Get sicko mode on some video game that no one cares about. That's what living's all about.
Hey, Kingdoms of Amalur is pretty cool. It's like the honestly, it's like I've never finished it, but playing
Mhm.
through it, it kind of reminds me of like what if Fable didn't go the direction it did and just kept going the way it was? Like,
Yeah,
what if we just enhanced Fable 1?
and not actually play Fable 1 enhanced because no one wants to play that.
Wow, this light is a little overbearing, huh?
Ooh, yeah. I think I have maybe an hour in Kingdoms of Amalur. Like I think I played like the opening areas, and so like I'm good. But it seemed pretty cool. Like I liked how like smooth it felt, and just like how many options you had. I didn't like the UI, but like that's just console RPG UI.
I think in your defense, it's really zoomed in.
They fixed that in the remaster.
Yes,
You
they
have like a
did.
field of view slider, yeah.
And the
Yeah. Yeah, from that time back when we were excited about Embracer doing all these cool little quality of life remasters and being like, "Oh, that's so cool! They're gonna
is
remaster
that one
this."
they did?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. KOA's again that nobody finished apparently.
I mean, that's why we never got the MMO or whatever, right?
Yeah. Project Copernicus. Did footage ever leak of that? I want to say it's eventually did, but like, man, everything about 38 Studios. Good God. Just completely devastated entire development, like local industry. Great job. Oh, who's adding me?
That's what I
I was living in Rhode Island when that happened. Ballistic Spork says, "Ouch."
need.
Yeah, that got messy, to say the least. I was going to school for game design when that happened. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Oh, I am sorry, bud. God, that's like going to school for the trades only to find out there's no factories that exist in like a 200-kilometer radius now.
There we go. A little better.
Is it still really bad in Rhode Island? Like, is it still completely dead? Non-existent, pretty much. Oof.
Somebody talking
That.
about.
Yeah, and no, Mike. Ballistic
Oh
Spork
god.
is just talking about it. That really sucks because like it seemed like really promising. I know there were a bunch of, ex-harmonics people who were like trying to set up shop there. But like, yeah, it's no one's gonna give you money in Rhode Island, I guess, until the wounds heal. Oh, Fesher's also studying game design. Got one more semester left and I'll have my bachelor's. Hell yeah.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
That rocks. Shoutouts to going to school.
Yeah. Capacity.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Let's take a look. That looks pretty good. Nice pulse. I like also too that we removed the flickering lights. That was definitely a huge needed
So,
change.
much like one of those things where it was like, hey, I wonder how this will be, but also just kind of, I guess not really even that, but it was how does this actually work in life? So what ended up happening was is I thought about the fact that you know, there was the issue in the flickering lights, and so I looked into it and looked into about how often it happens in life, and I think if memory serves, the answer is it happens every like 30 to 45 seconds.
Okay.
And so I approximately adjusted it appropriately.
Good.
So they do still flicker on, but it's
So
not
they're not
nearly
as
often.
aggressive as they used to be. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. We try to really take accessibility concerns into mind when we're designing things in the game. As much as we can, obviously, with what we're working with. I should start Ion Fury too. I should finally do that. Like I feel like I picked up so many of these like very, very high profile like retro shooters. And I just never play them because I'm just busy playing something else. I feel guilty. Like I still haven't finished Dusk. Like I'm up to episode 3. I'm still not finished that. I finished like 2 episodes of a medieval. I haven't touched Ultra Kill at all. I have to like.
Fun, but it.
Oh yeah, no, it's a game for sickos in the best way possible, but also in the worst way possible.
Good.
Yeah, it's got health in it. Games have health in it when they're good. Learned a lot about mainly what makes a game great, so the process of making a game in a team, which didn't turn out very well, but somehow got straight A's last semester, mainly because I was doing sound design for that project. Hell yeah. Sound design is a very underappreciated aspect of game design, in my opinion, so that's really cool. Like it's always like the department that gets starved the most of resources. Just like games with health equals good, yeah. Games with too much health equals not good. Rapapa says, Ali Neff, my favorite Duke Nukem Forever era is like 2002, 2006, 2001. Yeah, I mean, they were trying some cool stuff in there. It's just, I mean, we didn't get that version, right? I'm sure there's an alternate universe where we did get, and there's probably even more things to fix and more things to alter. But you know, it's a reality we're living in, right? Favorite era Space Marine 1998, 2001. TTK is my first experience with Duke Nukem. Yeah, Time to Kill's great. I will defend Time to Kill to my dying breath. That is a solid third-person shooter. Recently got my mitts on the sounds used for the PS4 version of the game Medieval. There are so many sounds. So you got like the sound library access? Or is it like just like sound effects CD stuff? Hey, Spork. Glad to have you join us. I know you're in the Discord already, but Glad you're here. Brawl asks, the stream in general is the main showcase progress can be shown off for the other maps or nah?
No, it's gonna be primarily me working on hotel for another like half hour. No.
Yeah, because this is the last map we need to get in playtesting condition so
Well,
that we can
it's the map that I need to get into playtesting condition.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's still work to do on buffet and stuff. I'm thinking about. But yeah. Although if you look at our other streams, you definitely look at other maps. You look at like Slick Willy before. The problem is that like Slick Willy is hard to look at on stream, to be blunt with you, because you know there's titties in that.
Yeah.
And,
Honestly, while it may not have been as obvious on stream, thank God, I will say that there is unavoidable titties in Slick Willy. So,
Yep.
regardless of a lot of it. So,
So look forward to our development stream coming from Pornhub for that one.
yeah, right. Check us out on Rumble.
Jesus. Please no. No Slick Willies, a place called Slick Willies, 0 out of 10. Oh, someone just ripped the sounds from the game with the UE4 Ripper. That's cool.
That's neat.
Basilisk says, man, I feel a tiny bit jealous when I see other people learn how to make games. They're actually good at it. I myself try to learn 3D modeling. I'm yet to skip tutorial hell. Okay, so keeping in mind, I am someone who is like adverse to like making things because I expect like perfection for myself in the first try. Remember that failing at not doing something is critical learning. So like if you feel like you're screwing up, you're still also learning by doing it. So keep that in mind and you know, don't give up. Keep trying at it. Yeah, you gotta crawl before you walk. Absolutely.
Yep.
Couldn't you make temp center skins to shippers that don't trigger TOS? That's definitely something that we want to think about because we do want to make like a stream safe mode, especially for stuff like that. I believe there are the beginnings of something like that already in the build, but I could be wrong on
it's
that.
It's just not set up.
Okay, so it's something that we just need to like set up and I don't know. We'll everyone be wearing a white T-shirt or something. Who knows? We'll figure out a way. Unrelated, but Slipknot apparently did collab with Atlas for Shin Megami Tensei 5. Hell yeah. Why not?
Graves here. I have good news, Duke.
I'm so bad at coding after all these years working on Duke Keck. Give yourself some credit, Etsy.
Objective added.
You were a valued member of the team. Star says, my first map was a box, a couple more boxes, and an underwater box. It was just boxes on top of boxes. I've surely grown since then, but we all start somewhere. It'll be great when you look back. Yeah, I mean, Star's like build maps are really impressive stuff. So he knows what he's talking about in that regard. Like now that he's doing 2011 maps, like it's yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. But absolutely, yeah, it's a matter of just pacing yourself, understanding that, you know, I have friends who have won awards for maps and games they worked on, and all of them universally say they have like thousands of failed candidates and like failed prototypes that they all learned something from. So just keep that in mind, you know?
Yep. And I don't know, like, while it may feel good, just remember that you don't have to make stuff for other people.
Absolutely,
You're
yeah.
making
Make
stuff
something for
for you.
yourself. Yeah. Especially if it's just like a map or something, like make it for yourself first. I'm saying all this as I'm live in terror of opening trench broom. So, practice what I preach, not what I do.
Oh, that's how it always is. But yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah. The last time I opened up trench broom to work on the Quake map I was working on, which was like literally just a box with some flesh textures and some grunts in it, was like 2021 or something. It was right after I finished Prey, because for some reason playing Prey gave me like the energy and the creative like desire to do something. And like for about a month there, I was like, no, I'm gonna map. I'm gonna make a map. I am inspired. And then it just didn't.
I mean,
I will call myself crap till the day I do. Otherwise, I'll get comfy and not learn things. Great.
whatever works.
Exactly. Human beings are complex creatures, it turns out.
Turns out I do want. Actually, rearrange all the fire. Fires.
Is it really humid where you are? It's like sticky humid again
Oh,
where
it's
I
been
am.
raining all day where I am.
It rained all night for us. So like it's just muggy and miserable, and I have all the windows open, the fan going, and I feel like my shirt is just like turning to water on my skin.
Thankfully, I'm not having that.
That's good.
That sounds
We'll probably have
terrible,
it
and I'm
soon
sorry.
then. It's living by the Great Lakes, right?
Yeah, right.
Speaking of which, severe thunderstorm watch. That's fun.
As currently I'm making custom texture stuff for my Minecraft Doom map set. It's been fun trying to recreate specific textures for Minecraft dungeons. It has a lot of textures unique to the actual game. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Even stuff like that is like, I don't know, a good place to like figure out what you're doing.
totally. And like I remember in the Quake days, I think it still is like this, but like if you make like a texture wad, like a new texture wad, people are super excited to see that. Like people are always excited to have new building blocks. Yes. It's always humid where I am, summer and winter. So you're sticky in the summer and your face is on fire in the winter. Yeah, that also sounds like Canada. Capicow says, hope work's going smoothly, Kings. Yeah, it's going pretty smoothly. We've only had like one crash this entire stream. It's a mystery memory crash. But
Thanks for
otherwise, it's
reminding me
going
I saved.
exactly. There you go. It's a bit like a tropical island where I am, the most random weather except for this view. Jeez.
Should tone down that light a little more. Okay.
That's awesome, Fesh. That's super rad. I helped test a project where it was like a Doom mapping project, and the
I
entire
have good
like
news, Duke. You won't
impetus
need to
for it
run around
was
blind in the dark
someone
anymore.
found a collection of
New
stock
objective
art
added.
CD-ROMs from 1995, and the idea was how many Doom maps can you make with these stock images, and it was so much fun watching all that come together. People just like throwing in the most random fucking images on the walls, like just weird ass shit. It was so cool. Like along with like conventional Doom textures and gameplay, just random images of like women in like 1993 headsets on talking into those giant like business phones. It's great. pictures of beans. Why not? Hmm.
I think I've just about gotten all of this fire on and off set up.
Yeah. Wood
I don't know why my hand has disappeared.
Oh.
Weird.
Brawl asks, I was curious, what do the dispatchers do in the editor? Do they
Great.
also like assist
I
triggers
have
or
good
something?
news, Duke.
They
You won't
can.
need to run around
Basically,
blind in the dark anymore.
a trigger sets off one event. A dispatcher can set off multiple events. And so you can use a dispatcher to set off multiple events in a sequence based off of like time and all kinds of other stuff. Why are these fires still on?
Uh-oh.
These should be trigger lights. They are. They're a trigger toggle.
Is it not like dousing the like actual like lighting effects? Is that the problem?
Yeah, it's not disabling the lighting effect, yeah.
Interesting.
Be disabling them with burning hall flares.
Hmm. Everything looks right.
Yeah, it looks the way it should.
How long were we planning to
Great.
go today?
I have good news,
Were we
Duke.
saying that?
You won't need to run
Probably-
around blind in the dark anymore.
We didn't.
New objective added.
Probably coming up on what, like 2 hours right now?
Yeah, coming up on 3.
Okay. Lights toggled on.
Oh, there we go.
Toggle
That
off
was the
on-
fires, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, I know what's
Okay.
going on. Take this. We're gonna put it all the way down here.
Just imagine how fun it would be to work on this on like a team of 4. Like how long you have to wait in between like the maps getting baked and stuff like that.
Right. I mean, we can call it here soon if you'd like. I mean, I don't know. We can talk about it. What are you feeling?
We'll see. We'll see how we're going. I mean, what the energy level's like. I'm just running out of things to talk about.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
What's your favorite enemy in the game? We saw a lot of enemies to get kind of in the game and like functioning and like
Graves here.
fun to
I have
fight and
good
stuff
news,
like
Duke.
that.
You won't need to run
But
around
I
blind
would
in the
say
dark
probably
anymore.
right now
New objective
The UDF,
added.
especially because like they're in active state development in terms of their AI, like W4 is doing really cool stuff for the AI. They're just making them more and more fun to fight every day and more reactive.
Yeah, no, that's the EDF are definitely a strong contender. I'm trying to think. Probably.
Oh.
Yeah, I jibbed.
Uh-oh.
Still up.
Well, thank you, Star. Mentioning love and the stuff I see in No Mic.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's kind of hard at this. I don't know.
I mean, we got a
Probably
lot
the
of stuff
EDF
done.
just because they're the easy. There's just because they're they got the most going on and they're the most fun to fight. But
Yeah. I mean, like, once you get like adult snatchers and stuff like that in game, we'll see where things are going.
right. There has been some work on those getting in their different
Oh, yeah.
abilities working and stuff like that lately.
Yep. So that's very promising. Heard the mercenary pawn sound from Unreal. Yeah, there's a lot of stock sound effects in this still. Our sound designer is planning on kind of going through the most recent build that we have internally with a fine tooth comb and kind of adding our
Trying to
own little
find.
touches to it.
Yep. Trying to find stuff like that we can
Yep.
clean up.
We were actually talking couple days, maybe like a week or so ago about possible Desert Eagle sounds and stuff like that. That sound real punchy and real good.
Yep.
Obviously, nothing set in stone. Just experimenting. Spork says, I know maybe it might be applicable, but I have the Duke Nukem 3 level design handbook. That's pretty cool. I've always wanted to pick one of those books up and just see if I can like follow it. There's another like a ton for Duke 3D and Quake and Doom.
New objective added.
Yeah, I suppose that like some of the processes and core parts of it, I'm sure would still be applicable, but
Oh yeah,
obviously the editor specific stuff isn't gonna.
exactly, and also like modern behaviors and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure if you'd read like the Doom level design handbook in 1994 versus like watching, someone who is a Doom level designer just stream themselves working on Doom, you probably learn a lot more from the latter than the former.
Okay, so that system is set up now properly. I'm gonna do a rebuild and a save just to see if it raises his hand. I don't know what's wrong with the hand all of a sudden.
Sounds good. Vasquez says, considering my favorite enemy is, however, my least ankle biters, the snatchers and head spiders. I just kind of wish they were squishier and had a bigger hitbox. That's definitely something we can address, especially we want to make small enemies fun to fight, so that's definitely something we can look at.
For sure.
Do you guys think the After Doom Forever developers are watching the stream? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't really matter, really. I mean, like, we're doing our own thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, any support is always appreciated, of course, but
sure.
I don't know. Honestly, like my thing is that I wouldn't be would we like it. I wouldn't be so vain to like think. I guess.
No,
like,
absolutely.
If they were to like, pop in and say hey or something like that, I'm not gonna say it wouldn't be cool or something. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if like a junior developer who was there was watching us versus like a senior developer, like getting a real like, because that way like they could obviously they probably wouldn't tell us, but theoretically we get a more realistic picture of what the trenches were like, so to speak.
Yep.
That'd always be a interesting story, but the problem with that is that whatever NDA all those employees signed years ago is seemingly still in effect, because whenever we've contacted developers and asked them specifically about campaign stuff, it's been radio silence.
Yep.
But if we ask them about multiplayer stuff, sometimes they get chatty.
Yeah,
So
multiplayer stuff or just general stuff.
yeah, there is definitely an NDA in effect for the campaign or some kind of something is happening there. They start telling me shit about the MP.
Awesome.
I mean, when we say that, it's usually been pretty high level stuff. Nothing really low level.
Okay.
Finally, it can be at the live. Yeah, welcome, Antoine.
Okay, so that's all set up. So let's now let's see. This guy's part of the second ambush, right?
Think so. The idea is that they get up after the fires are out, right?
Yeah. See what their wake tag is. No, I have it set up. It's set up for these guys.
I wonder if certain strings of code are in the game with the high and the low levels. Motherfuckers, you start talking to me. I'd like to imagine at some point there will come a time when those NDAs do expire, you know, for whatever reason, either the people start retiring or just no longer that threat or something. But I think as long as people are in the industry and currently working on projects, that's definitely a risk factor for them. And I would never ever pressure someone to like risk their jobs to tell us that like, oh yes, Duke Nukem was going to be here at this point.
Yeah, right.
That's just not worth it for anyone involved.
You know, honestly, I wonder how much of it's NDA. I wonder how much of it is like people don't just talk about it.
For sure, yeah,
I
that's
wonder
a
how
huge
much of
part of it.
it is like it was 25 years ago and I don't really man.
Totally, yeah. I definitely err on the side all three. Like it's
Yeah,
probably
right.
like a
It's a little bit
mixture
of
of all
both.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
October, are you still here? No, he
He
knows
might
the
have
answer to the question.
gone to sleep.
Fair enough.
Anton is saying, hope the game is going well so far. Can't find to cast someone main character voice. We have Gianni for Duke. He's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And do some cinematics or scenario or so. Do you mean like in-engine cutscenes? Because probably not. We're planning on doing kind of a unbroken first-person narrative, like Half-Life style.
Yep.
Basila says, any plans to do anything with the alternative shrinker model? In my opinion, it would have been a perfect fit for an expander weapon. Expand the crystal red and you're all set. So the problem with that is if we're going to be adding new weapons or changing functionality, we definitely want to consider how that affects like the combat puzzle, so to speak. And is it fun to use? Is it a useful tool to have in Duke's arsenal? You know what I mean? Like, we don't just want to add weapons for the sake of adding weapons, because then you just have the, you know, 6 different machine guns or something like that. And it's like, well, okay, why do we have 6? Like, 1. So we want to have everything fit specific purposes if we can do that. That being said, I think we have looked at the alternative shrinker model for something in the past. Maybe just like kit bashing it with the current shrinker model.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I know we've chatted about it and talked about it and stuff like that. I don't know. Part of me thinks it would be cool to make the expander the alternative shrinker model. But I also just don't.
Yeah. It's too early to say.
Not for a cop out, but
Yeah. I mean, I know we've talked a lot about the Ripper and things like that, but like we might not even have the Ripper in episode 1. That might not be till episode 2 or something like that. Chiani
and
face texture
honestly,
Duke model when.
to be frank, kind of like how I said, I said this earlier in the week, I think, on the Discord server. I really want the Ripper. If the Ripper doesn't work, it's not going.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
you know, whatever works is what's going to end up in the build. Like, if it doesn't end up working, then we'll figure something else out.
Yeah. It's a very delicate process because
Yeah.
like adding one weapon has like a cascading effect on like, okay, why would I use this weapon versus this weapon? Things like that. Movie review, a guy asks if any of us been contacted by 3D Realms by chance. No, not really. We're
I have good news, Duke.
since kind of we started, it's been good radio silence, we'll
New
say.
objective added.
Like it has been, we've just been doing our thing pretty much.
Yep.
Maybe the Ripper's mounted on a turret, the Duke rips out of the turret to a fun little turret section. Yeah, we've been talking about things like that because there are turrets in the game already. But again, it's one of those things like, okay, so say we add the Ripper like option, right? So we have a weapon that's designed for crowd use. Okay, now suddenly we need to have an enemy that provides that kind of like challenge to the player that you need to spit out that amount of firepower to conquer this obstacle. Then we need to consider, okay, so now we have a crowd control kind of gameplay scenario. What else can we do with it? Wherever else can we stretch it? You know, things like that. So what is here is already somewhat balanced. Like all the weapons have distinct roles in the arsenal. So if we added new ones, again, we need to really consider all the aspects of it. We need to be very careful about it. And that being said, like Otacon said, we would love to add the Ripper. We'd love to add the expander. But the problem is, would they make sense? Like maybe once you get to a desert environment and we have like more like wide open areas where like you can just like, you know, sweep the Ripper across a huge area and just let out hail of gunfire, maybe then it starts to make sense. It's kind of like a suppressive fire weapon. Yeah, snatch to the sprint, perhaps we can sort of steer Sam sort of dynamic. Again, that's all stuff we definitely talked about. Like, and like again, we have a lot of game to fill out. We have at least 3 episodes to fill out with content and like fun gameplay scenarios.
Yeah.
And as we get further into the game, obviously it becomes a much bigger canvas. So we'll have it more time to experiment when we get into later parts. But in most episode 1, a lot of the groundwork's already been established.
Yep.
Guys need the Ripper because of the sound effects. Yeah, for sure. Is it hard to create what you have in mind with the software? Not really. Like
No, especially not at this point.
Yeah, like it's pretty. I don't want to say simple. It's still hard. I mean, you're watching this happen in real time. How like painstakingly.
Yeah, you're watching paint dry as we chat here for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but like this is what game development's like. It's constantly reiterating and trying new things and fixing bugs and things like that. But like for the most part, most of our ideas have worked. Cool idea to use Ripper being brought Las Vegas Boulevard, taking down Octobrains with all snatch, pockets, etc. Context is good. Yeah, but even Las Vegas Boulevard is too early, and like we're still trying to
I have good news, Duke.
figure out what kind of tone we want to have for Las Vegas Boulevard. Like we have a lot of it done, but we don't want to like oversaturate the player with just non-stop combat from the word go. We want to have a good pace. We want to have, you know, just as many loud moments as there are quiet moments where the Duke just gets to explore a cool area and do some puzzles and stuff like that. How many people work in the game that goes this back to days compared to you? Do you mean at 3D Realms? Because I think we never got above like 1, 2 employees, something like that. It's a very small team. comparison to teams of the size at that point.
I'm just getting started.
And all that being said, like if a modder was to take what we have and said, "Oh, I'm going to add the Ripper anyway," that's cool. We're 100% support of that. Like if you want to put the Ripper in regardless and like just have fun with it, go for it. Hell yeah,
Make it work. Yeah.
yeah. We will cheer you
Figure it
on.
out.
I'm a commit new Hetson saying I'm commit new HUD shit. It's been going alarmingly well with this code. You fellas and team are gonna QA, rip me a new one. Great. And maybe someone will rise to the task of making a mod that's part of Rebels Russian overkill for Doom 2. Okay, maybe not that intense. Maybe we don't need every weapon to fire different kinds of nukes. Or maybe we do. I could be totally wrong.
Maybe we should go the Daikatana route, and every episode will have a different set of weapons.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, hey, that fixed the pistol problem. Every episode we have a different pistol. We'll have the 2001 pistol. We'll have the 98 pistol. We'll have the 07 pistols. There you go. Problem solved. The rockets are firing rockets. Yeah, absolutely. Russian overkill. Is Daikatana worth playing post fan patch? Yeah, it is. If you come at it in the right with the right mindset, and you're willing to tolerate some like very bad design in points.
Yeah, frankly, just inarguably bad game design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is so incredibly ambitious that you almost just want to cheer for it.
Like, look, Daikatana is fun. It is a fun game. You're going to play and you're going to have a good time. I will say that. But you should turn off save crystals.
Yep.
And you should just know going into it. Well, I'd probably turn off sidekicks, yeah. And know going into it that 3/4 of your arsenal is going to be AoE weapons, and it's a corridor shooter.
Yep.
So as long as you can get over that, you'll be gold.
And also the enemies are like Blood 2 tier in terms of annoying and super fast and will kill you very quickly. How's Restoration Project coming along? It's going great.
Yeah.
We're just kind of cranking away at it. We're feeling pretty good about some sort of release in the relatively near future. That will hopefully have a completely and utterly redone episode 1. Or not episode 1, chapter 1, I should say. And then episode 1 will probably be next year, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. We want to be honest with everyone and say that like sometimes these things just do take time, but we're also hoping that by us showing development, we're being transparent with y'all and you can see like, why it's taking a long time because like, sometimes these things just take a while to make.
Yep.
Can't wait to see what Bombshell looks like in this game. Yeah, I mean we're hopefully going to be showing her off relatively soon. Recommend Unreal Gold and Unreal Tournament 1999. Yeah, those are fantastic games. We're not saying that, John. We don't invoke those words. Oh my god. 1 second, I gotta turn my fan on faster. I'm just being cooked alive right now. Probably not helping my my dialogue much when I'm just like sweating.
Whoa, the stream ended.
It did? Uh-oh. It's still up for me. Uh-oh.
Okay, we're good.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Man, the stream, it looks like it went down on my end. That was weird. Sorry,
That's faulty.
everybody. Yeah, the stream
Yeah.
was like, great stream, and then it was like, I don't know. It was weird. It told me it stopped on my end. I was confused.
Weird.
Yeah, the wallpaper was made by Spiggy, one of our 2D artists.
Yep.
Made for a, or it was the original art for it was made for a Newgrounds collaboration, I believe.
Yes.
But he made me a custom one.
It's
Spiggy.
really, really cool.
I guess once I can a source port made of DNF 2001.
Well, there is that one guy who's porting UE1 to UE5, but that's mostly for VR stuff because they're porting Deus Ex to VR. So theoretically, if they have a framework in place,
if that's what you mean by source port.
exactly, yeah.
If by source port you mean port it to like another console or something like that, technically the build is the entirety of the source code of the game. So in theory, if there's a way to make it compatible with Unreal Engine 1, a way to make it compatible with this.
Yeah. I think one of our developers was playing with porting this to the original Xbox, but apparently it does not fit in the memory pool currently. It requires at least 128 megs of RAM, which is like the dev model. So kind of a Virtual Cop 3 situation for those who know. So that probably isn't too doable. And then, but it probably wouldn't fit on PS2 or Dreamcast either.
For the same reason.
Yep, exactly.
Well, yeah.
Even though Wump keeps finding postings of DNF coming to GameCube, it's like, probably not.
It was wishful thinking or marketing or bad marketing at best.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. We've gone on for 2 hours. I guess we can. I'm good to call it, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good amount of stuff. We got some cool stuff we showed off in the beginning. We got some good discussion. Got some good work done. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good dev stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One last question I'll answer here before we go by Antoine here. Can you explain how you share tasks to do with your dev team? Very curious to know how and who do that. Well, as far as that goes, tasks are kind of divvied out based on like who wants to work on them and who's interested in working on them, stuff like that. For the most part, we have things broken down into teams, and you kind of stick to what your team works on. But that's not to say that there isn't like cross work. Like some of our story team works on level design stuff. Like I work on some programming stuff as well as level design stuff. Um, there is some cross work there as well. But yeah, it's kind of just down to what people are interested in working on. Obviously, there is like a what's the word I want to what's the word I want to use for it. There is some delegation, I suppose.
Yes.
And it's not like you know it's not like the Wild West. Like if somebody were to join us and then be like, "Oh, hey, I'm going to start working on the EDF facility," well, we'd pump the brakes and be like, well, hey, guess what? We're working on this. Let's focus on working on this and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we kind of just have like a general idea of what we're working on and like what we're working towards, and then people kind of assign themselves work or ask for work from their leads or stuff like that to get pointed in the direction of what they should be doing.
Yep. Absolutely.
But yeah, everybody, thank you very much for joining us today for another
Yeah.
what was successful stream on YouTube, I'd say.
For
Honestly,
sure.
I feel like streaming on YouTube is I don't want to say it's better than streaming on Twitch, but I've had no problems or issues so
No,
far.
it's been rock solid,
Yeah,
honestly.
nice and smooth.
Been really, really impressed. And a lot of people show up. We really appreciate y'all coming out.
Yeah. And this VOD will go up within the week. I promise that. Hold me to that. Bug the hell out of me on Discord if I lied. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining us, and keep it easy.
For sure. Have a great weekend, everyone.